What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you guys feel like the SPY, the Qs, any stock pretty much yesterday. Whew, that was a crazy, crazy move. But what's crazier? We got AJ in the house. We got Albert. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Andy, Bill, Emily. It's Emily. I love money today. I love it. It's different every day. I love it. We got Keith in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Kevin, Lauren, Mark, Marius, Pete. Good morning to Rick, Tim, Wendy's in the house. All my people out YouTube land. Good morning to Leonard. Lala, Lou. Good morning to you. We got Jason. We got Ray. Good morning to Mark, Clarice. I'm stuttering today. We got all my lurkers in the background of YouTube. They're just not gonna say anything all day. It's okay. I still love you. Just hit that like and subscribe buttons. But yeah, let's see. Market went crazy, to say the least. Yesterday, lots of stocks up, like 17%, 20%, 25%, just on an announcement that we've kind of been waiting for. We needed a little bit more clarity on what the outlook for tariffs look like. So Trump did come out right around 1 o'clock p.m. yesterday, and he said 3 month pause on tariffs, except for China. They still get 124% tariff. And then every other country is, or everyone that was on the chart, they're all still going to hold the 10% tariffs, but we're not going past that for 3 months, which I think is an interesting spot to be in. Mustafa says, "Crazy volatility. Welcome to the bear market." Yes, that's an interesting point. We do see some really big rallies in bear markets, but um, I think we had a lot of information. So now you have the next 3 months. I don't know if you guys remember. If it's probably like 25 years ago. At least it feels like it. With every day just whipsaw back and forth, like 3 months or like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe a little longer than that. We had uh we had the first tariffs to Canada and Mexico, and then we started delaying them. And then leading into the tariffs, the market was down. And as soon as we got the pause, the market just rallied for the I think it was 2 week time frame, two weeks pause on tariffs, and then it came back on, and the markets went crazy again. So that's kind of where we're at now, except we have 3 months. So that gives us 3 months of I don't know if the bottom is in. We'll see. There could be some headlines that negate everything and just, I don't know, maybe things escalate further. But for right now, as things stand, I think that is a very positive thing for the market where you have 3 months of at least we know the situation. Again, good, whether tariffs are good, tariffs are bad, everyone's got their own opinion on it. Who knows how everything plays out. But for the market, you have at least a 3 month cushion saying, okay, we know what the terms are. And then during that time frame, that gives 3 months to negotiate with some of the other countries, and maybe we still see some negotiated deals, some positive headlines, maybe some not so positive headlines. We don't know, but we at least know the landscape going forward for the next 3 months, and I think that's absolutely huge. Trump Trump actually put out on I don't know if it was Truth or Twitter yesterday. He's like, I think it was like 9 something in the morning. He tweets out like 9:30. He's like, it's a good day to buy stocks. He was correct. He was correct. I don't know if he was foreshadowing his announcement that was coming out, but he was absolutely correct. That was a good day to buy stocks. We just didn't have all the information as to why, but now we do. So we'll see. Otherwise, massive, massive move. What's extremely impressive on this one, and then I'll tell you my dislike for this open, but crazy move, absolutely nuts. We had these candles, this candle from the day before on the SPY, this got from 525 all the way down to 490, 490.66, something like that. That's a $35 candle, and this candle looks like a normal small candle base next to the one that we put in yesterday. So crazy move. This thing was intense. We took that out. We closed massively above it. Very good win for the Bulls. So what I don't like, we just ran right into that 20 EMA. We were stretched a little far on that one. What I like on this one though is you got past that candle. That would have been a tough one to get through had we not had news. My next target on the SPY would have been somewhere to the zone of like 543.28. We actually got a close above it. That's a positive sign. That if I was a bear, I would be concerned with that close. And then I got my next immediate target, probably somewhere around this 556.26, and then I think you get a big one around like 563.78. We have to see if we clear through that. You got your 200 EMA, a few more moving averages coming in, so not out of the woods yet, but that was a positive sign. What I don't like for today is the opening price, and again, I think you got to give the stocks a little bit of room. We are we are getting some profit taking. I would imagine that's a fair assumption that somebody might want to take some gains after they just sat through some craziness. They have an opportunity to get out for less of a loss, or maybe they were buying down here and they took the Trump advice and they just bought here. You're up massive, absolutely massive. So a little profit taking makes sense. Otherwise, I would have liked to see us hold this 542.81. So today I think we are a little bit chopped. Watch that for resistance, so we could recapture that. That would put us in a strong position to most likely probably get up to this 562.70 zone, somewhere close to that 200. Otherwise, there is a lot of room to continue to give this move back. We have yesterday's VPOC, which did actually close lower. However, uh, all of that volume, if you're just massively profitable if you were buying somewhere close to the higher volume zone, 499.49. Not sure if that retest. I don't want to see that thing retest. I don't really ever want to see that retest. Probably some point in the future it will. But immediately let's take a look. I got the Lux algo. That's telling me maybe we got to pull back to like 515.88. That's still a massive pullback. The range of where we're in, it's essentially no man's land at this point. With a little bit more resistance closer. So I think your risk reward is to the downside. This is going to be a tough one to probably take out. Let's see if this one pulls back a little bit. I don't think I want to go completely bullish. Almost on this day, we could, since the move is just so crazy, we could probably take a fib and fib just yesterday. And I think that would still give us a decent like location for maybe where we should bounce. Again, there's a lot of bulls in here. A lot of bulls that made money yesterday. And then we still don't forget we do have a 3 month kind of cushion at this point, or at least we know the landscape. But there's still tariffs. We still have China news coming out. We're not free and clear completely from everything. But this takes it down to 521.02, would be about a 50% retracement, and then maybe we get into, and that's right around where my Lux algo is. Somewhere around 514.42 is the 618, so slightly above it's the Lux algo. So where we pull back to, I don't know. Maybe we make a full on retracement. But the news is out already. Talking heads had the opportunity to talk about it, discuss it, and for right now, you're getting some profit taking. I don't think there's a very strong area to be a buyer in. I don't know if I want to short things out of the gate either. Just you're dealing with a lot of momentum in that bullish direction with that candle. So we'll see how this one plays out. But I'm not loving no man's land. I would rather see some continuation in either direction from this pullback this morning. I would love to see the pullback. I think that would be. I think there will be buy the dip opportunities. I don't know if this is dipped enough. Q's a little bit different though. Q's again, fantastic close. We actually already got into that closing the gap from back April 1st. Actually, probably this candle. It was this March 31st. So we're not into this one yet from where we actually dipped, but we came into the section, the zone where we could consider that a gap close. We actually did close the gap. Actually, now I'm looking at this. From at least the opening price, just my VPOC is a little bit higher, so that's going to take me to like 474.90. We closed two gaps in one day. Man, all of those gaps are massively far away. So what I do like about the Qs is again, you got a good close above this April 3rd candle. You absolutely crushed through that VPOC. You did get into the next resistance, but Q's at least holding a little bit of support. So maybe tech could be a little stronger here. We'll see if we start breaking through somewhere around 455.20. Then maybe we get that bigger pullback. Look for those. You could probably draw a fib on Qs as well, and we'll see if we could just maybe get into like that 50% retracement, something to that extent. Wendy says, yesterday I've learned to put a stop loss on contracts. Nice. That was a painful lesson that I paid around 10 to 15K. Yep, just like stocks. You could definitely put some stops in. Bijal says markets looking in high inflation, tariff not over. Yeah, tariff's not over. We still have it. We just have a lot less. Um, Trump managed to figure out how to tariff pretty much every country at 10% and have those countries love it because they're like, hey, at least it's not 30%. We'll take that. Okay, we can negotiate from here. We did have CPI come in today. CPI actually came in light too, and I think that does have a lot. I think that is a reflection of the tariffs where it does affect your supply. So obviously, if tariffs are skyrocketing, people are going to not want to buy the expensive items or more expensive items. So that pulls back on demand. That's going to affect supply. That should bring down CPI. So I think even just the discussion of tariffs helped the CPI a little bit today. That did come in light. The initial reaction from CPI was positive. We kind of sold that all off at the moment. Mustafa says we have 3 months of uncertainty on what will tariffs be. Investors hate uncertainty. We have less uncertainty though. Yep. So we still have the uncertainty. What happens after 3 months? We don't know. Maybe all tariffs go back. No deals were negotiated. But I think this kind of gives at least a little runway for negotiations. I think it gives a little calmness to the markets, knowing that we're just not going to get over the next 3 months. We know that countries are at 10% tariffs. It might not be great if you're not a tariff person. It might not be great for the outlook of the economy. It might be fantastic if you are in the opinion tariffs are good. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. But we had things changing. We had countries locked in at 30% tariffs, which is crazy, highly insane. Um, but now the it puts a little bit of an ease onto the. There's still the pressure. But now you also have 90 days for maybe we get sprinkled headlines of some deals closing, but we know where we stand. And I think you have a little bit more, you're still uncertain, I agree, but you're still you have a little bit more certainty than you had less than 24 hours ago. So I think it is a huge deal. Helmy says today I purchased the course Learn to Trade in 20 Hours. Stephen King, you're gonna enjoy that one. I can't attend all the live classes due to the time difference. Where can I get access to the recorded classes kindly? So, you have Stephen King is teaching that course. Again, phenomenal teacher, phenomenal trader. Um, how he does his recordings, I don't know. I know for me, for my uh, courses that I teach, I put into a Google folder. He might have a different system, but he'll let you know on where you can find the recordings to that. Just shoot Stephen King. I believe you can email if you don't have his email. It's Stephen. I think it's Stephen at reallifetrading.com. And he'll help you out and show you the ropes for that. BJL says, for me, the volatility worked out positive trades, big gains in the books in history. Yeah, if you were on the right side of that one, massive day, massive day. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. 3 months is a whole quarter for big money to make gains before uncertainty returns. Yeah, that's 3 months is we had no idea before. We had no idea before. Now you have like, okay, we have the backdrop. How do we play with the markets in this backdrop? So I think it is a huge deal. Trump negotiates boldly, lessons learned over and over again. I know. Some of those other world leaders are going to start actually reading maybe the art of the deal, and they're like, wait, he just trumped me. He got me. Bitcoin, let's see what Bitcoin did, BTC USD. Although this claims he didn't write the book himself, so I get it. I know. I get it. Bitcoin also phenomenal day, exceeding a lot of different. We got kind of right into a bigger resistance on this one. This one's pulling back again, kind of in no man's land, but you started getting through, I guess, your first level that you had to try to worry about. Probably a target that we even, I'm guessing, discussed yesterday was 80,840. We got past that, we closed it. So let's see if that 80,800 zone holds again on Bitcoin today. Usually after, by the way, if you've made an absolute ton of money yesterday, if that was you, don't bring that same energy in the market today. Save some of your gains. The market, just because it does 3,000% in one day does not mean that it does 3,000% the next day. We'll see what happens. But a lot of times after a big move, you have a smaller rest period. You have some profit taking. Where do we go from here? And it could take us a couple days to now settle in, have new positions established, and then make your next move in either direction based on the news. Emily says, "Who just joined? Learn to trade." There's a Slack group and recordings that are added there. Let me. I don't want to say the name on the mic. Just I don't know. Maybe it's probably fine, but I'll private message you. Just I don't know. I don't know how to play the situation, so I'll just play it the best I could. I just sent you a message. And Emily's gonna look you up. She's gonna get in contact with you too. I assume, and she'll help you get situated if you're not there. But there should be a Slack group. Agreed. All right. Let me know if you guys have tickers that are coming in. I see a bunch in YouTube land. There was one or two that I put at the top of my list, unless I just resorted everything. I was going through a lot of these, and a lot of them is the same thing. So let's start with Tesla, and then we can kind of use that as the base model for today, and then see if anything looks a little bit different because a lot of these things do look the same. So Tesla ran up perfectly to a really good location. You have your next big spot on Tesla, somewhere about 280.14. If we could close anywhere outside of 280.14 over the next couple days, I like that for a potential breakout. You do have a little bit of a longer term double bottom in there. Fantastic bearish engulfing candle. The problem again, we're into that resistance. We got up there, and today at open we are pulling back again. Normal par for the markets. People are going to want to take some gains. I would have liked to see us hold 264.54. So if we get above there, stay above that, close above it, maybe then tomorrow we have that same energy going through that maybe is enough to break through that 280 or at least get us up there. Otherwise, for today, pullback zone, look for like 257.44. So it's got a little bit of room to the downside. Um, before and it's not a huge level, but it's one that I would be watching. And then I have another really big level, 252.11. I've had that level for a while. We've pushed right into it, even on some of the rando news. Yesterday was a day to break out. I think that also takes us roughly very close to maybe that 50% retracement of yesterday. So let's see if you get to like 252 and change today. See if there's a little bit of a bigger pullback than even that first kind of support. If we get there, that's where I'd like to maybe go bullish. Otherwise, we're kind of in this do nothing zone on Tessie. I pulled this one up first because there's a lot of stocks that look like this where it's just pulling back a little too much. Doesn't make me too comfortable. There's a lot more room to the downside for profit taking if we get to that zone. But keep in mind the momentum, very strong close, very tiny wick, nothing too crazy at the top. But I'm looking at a lot of these stocks that look exactly the same. At least pre-market, we'll see what BABA looks like now. This one kind of looked a little bit different. So I will be looking at BABA for a trade today. You had a green day yesterday, so it's a little bit of a retrace. We were sitting closer to this 106.02 zone, and we're getting a gap up. So as the rest of the market, a lot of things are kind of down a little bit, pulling back a little bit. You do have a little bit of strength coming in on BABA, and look for some kind of support right around 106, 106.02. There could be some resistance on the way up. The next one that I'm looking for is probably about 110, let's call it 109.69. But if we can get through some of those older ones, the next real spot for a retest takes you to like 114.98, so roughly 115. And that would give us a really nice trade if we can get up there. We will also have to pass through that 100, so maybe not simple, but this one does look a little bit different. It is gapping up while the rest of the market's gapping down. It did recover decently, but we want to see that 106 hold. If we can get that, that looks decent. MU, I think, kind of looked interesting. I know I threw it on my chart, but I forget why. This one, it looked a little bit better when I threw it up there. So resistance is 75.03. Let's see if we get above it. This one I like for the fact that number one, even if we get to the top of that candle, you have 83.05. That gives you about $6 on a $77 stock, $78 stock. That would be a decent move. We do have to go a little bit higher before I'm interested in really going long. And then a potential target on this one takes you to about 85.32. So we'll see how this holds up. Otherwise, if we're getting gap where we're sitting now, 75.03, you might want to wait a little bit, see if you get closer to 72.24 for a fill. If that starts to break, I think really good risk reward is 68.40 if you get down there, but we'll see. Um, Hood, HOOD. Hood. Where the hood at? Similar to everything else. We got into a strong resistance. Key spot on this one. If we start breaking 42.54, that would probably, at least for today, take us to about 44.59, and then I think you're in a longer path back to like 47.77. For now, not a terrific open though. Not extremely bullish on it at open. Maybe has to rest a little bit, pull back a little bit. Um, Key resistance on this one for right now, 41.23. So watch that spot if we start climbing above it. Otherwise, what's different on this one is all that volume came in at the high end. That's kind of wild. We have the VPOC at the highest point of the day, almost the highest point. Otherwise, if we pull back a little bit more, you have probably close to about $40.11 as a little support, and then maybe back down to where I would like it, 38.24. It's about halfway through the candle. You also have the Lux Algo VPOC. You got another session volume profile VPOC. I think that's going to be a really extremely important area for Hood. Let's see. Add an alert to that one just in case we forget to look. MSTR. MSTR. Mm, MicroStrategy is pulling back, same as everything else. Look for support on this one around 284.48. That's only maybe a 38% retracement though. Again, I think drawing some of these fibs on some of these big charts would be fantastic. Your next support from there, 280.52, and then 270. Same thing with Robinhood, your highest volume zone, which is now going to be probably a really good resistance, 296.36. So I think you have a little bit more room to the downside. Or if you are under the bullish camp, these things rally. You're probably waiting to see if you get a little deeper pullback. A really solid one, I think, on this one, 271.46 if we could get down there. I'm going to draw a little alert on this one too, just in case. I mean, this is a mile and a half away, but the candle yesterday was so big. Whew. Lucian says, I'm a little surprised that the markets jumped so much on the pause news since China was not part of the pause. Um, well, yeah, but they still increased all of our tariffs. I think I don't know if any other country has went reciprocal, so I think they're in a position where they cannot. Like I don't think Trump is going to go, okay, you now got us up to 84% of where we're sitting at, and we're going to pause tariffs for everybody, including you. So you keep yours at 84, and we'll put you at 10. I don't think he was in the position to do it. But what it means is they're getting 125%. I think it's actually 124% tariffs, and the rest of the world is not. If that doesn't push China to the negotiation table a little bit sooner, I don't know what else will. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Amazon is chilling. So same thing. I would have liked to see this thing open above 187.12. Maybe we climb above it during live market. This one, at least yesterday's VPOC looks similar to everywhere else, where the VPOC is at the lower end of the day as opposed to the higher end. So that should be a really, really good support. Anything that breaks this candle, I think I saw the message in Slack yesterday that today is if those candles break down day. And yeah, if we start to lose this candle on Amazon, we probably have a much deeper pullback. So I think this should be a little bit of a potential bottoming sign. Maybe it's not, but if it's not, we know how to play it. We'll go short anything below yesterday's candle on this one. For today, look for some kind of support, somewhere right around 183.06. Maybe that gets down to, I don't really want to see this happen, but maybe we get down to like 180.78. So a little bit of a tight range, probably inside, maybe chop on that one. Palantir, PLTR, had a strong day yesterday. Palantir also got into a really good resistance zone, somewhere around 92.13. Watch to see if that breaks. If it does, you have a little bit of room higher, 96.06. Anything past that will take you probably into the above the $100 zone, so somewhere around 101.23. Is this the best place to buy? Probably not. I think you're going to want to see some kind of a pullback. First little support that I'm looking at is somewhere around 86.12. Let's mark that one. Put an alert. I got alerts on everything today. We'll see if that one wants to pull back a little bit. The secondary and a much, much stronger spot, somewhere around 84.05. I'm also going to add an alert to that one as well. Again, just gives me better risk reward. I don't know if we get there. I don't know what happens when this bell rings in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, but whew. MU, we did look at already. Let's take a look at Oxy. And I got region as well on the list. So Oxy is okay. We got everything kind of pulling back now. AMD with a big little drop. Oxy is hanging out at a good support. I think we're slightly under it. So see if Oxy wants to recapture $39 or higher. If it does, I think your targets go to 40, 43. I don't think I would touch it long yet because of where it's opening. Otherwise, I'd be looking for somewhere in the 37.92 range. If you get a little bit more of a pullback, that would get you probably a decent risk reward. So something like this. Oil's going to be a little bit different too. So we don't know how something like this, and then probably stop somewhere around the low of the day. That might be more of a swing trade based on that spread, but I'd probably be interested in something like that if we get that pullback. But we're going to need Oxy to. We have to have some kind of stabilization in oil. I think we're still a little jumpy in that region. REGN. Okay day. Technically, yesterday was a retest gap for Regeneron. Pretty good close though. You got right above that last support and closed above it. So 573.65. I think today you're opening slightly underneath it. So I'm not sure if news came out, but it looks like things are pulling back pretty deep. Again, I like it. I like it if it pulls back. It's very hard to buy it when you just have a 20% day and no pullbacks, and we just kind of run. So that might help set us up for some trades today. But region is just chilling for right now. Bigger support on this one, and probably your buy spot if you want to try it. 557.45. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, that is the morning bell. Everybody, YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe buttons if you've not done so already. You guys are incredible, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Later, guys.